Hey you guys, I did this recording of a Necropolis run that I did. A lot of people have asked for this video, and I think at the time I was struggling with my mic a little bit. But oh, actually no, it wasn't the mic. It was that I was really sick and didn't have much of a voice. So I've been waiting to feel a bit better to be able to do a voiceover for this. I really think it's great footage. It's something I'm pretty proud of. Just because I do it without spending any balins, which I was actually a little bit concerned. Not so much that I wasn't capable of doing this, but just to be able to do it on a recording and on the spot. Sometimes you just get tripped up, or you mess up, or you lag, or you disconnect, or something happens. And so I decided to start at boss 19. This isn't a challenge for me anymore. I actually think I beat this without going into Sylph, but I didn't want to do all 30 levels, and this seemed like a good spot since people tend to really struggle with this boss. So the important things for Necropolis are hopefully getting slows, fast DPS, and HP management. For mages, you really don't want to overheal and take away from your DPS, but you don't want to die, obviously. I think Centauri is a good way to deal with that. As you move, each time you have a turn, you're getting some health, and it's a quick skill. Here, I think I bring up Fury unnecessarily, just because I saw a worm and figured it would bleed me. I haven't done these earlier bosses in a while, so I wasn't completely sure of what I needed anymore. So here I have a level 10 Myron, which is just a PvE dream. Now it has a lot less utility since they made it so that most things are slow immune, but in Necropolis it's still fantastic. You can slow Necropolis bosses, and I still like it for hits in World Boss and Skytrail, or actually Skytrail not so much, but I've been using it in God's Descent actually a little bit to just get an extra hit instead of using something like a Rage Rune so that I can do more Thunders. So it still has some utility, and also you can't advance Rune a Mire, so it's just gonna stay the way it is. So I think if you don't have a Mire and you're a mage, that can be rather problematic. One solution is if you're a Hercules user, it does have a 30% slow on I think it's called like Thunder Strike or Thundering Strike, something like that. It's on the number 2 hotkey on my set of skills. That'll be a 30% slow. And the other thing you want to be able to do is have really good rage management and try to be able to thunder as much as possible, because even though it's only a 50% chance, thunder does slow for 2 full turns at 100% slow. So that can be really good if it procs several times. This is one of at least 2 dragons. This is actually the same as the final boss, the level 30 boss, except I think it's a little smaller once you get inside. I am using here the technique using AFK mode to get double hits. So you can see my skills blinking here. I do have a blog post on, I think you can Google something like Cosmos blog, double hits in World Boss, and I lay out how exactly to get it blinking and make sure that you can queue skills. It does take a little bit of practice, but eventually you get pretty good at it. And now that so many things are slow immune, things like Skytrail and God's Descent, you really need these double hits. You can get as many as 3 hits or 4 hits in when you have a 100% slow on. So with these Mires, you can see me triple hit sometimes, especially at the final boss. At the level 30 boss, it's really slow. it's a pain in the butt, but it's at least very, very slow. And so if you get a Maya rune on it, it can be manageable. So this is the one that bleeds, and there aren't too many after this point, I think, that do bleeds. Maybe some minor debuffs, but not anything I would address, I don't think. So far, as far as skills go, I've seen some other videos, and I know a lot of mages, they'll go with, instead of where I have Rain of Fire, they'll bring a Blessed Light. I don't really like bringing Blessed Light for two reasons. One, I like having more DPS skills than heals, just because when you click AFK mode, unless I need Puri, I try not to have 3 heals and 2 DPS. I try to have 3 DPS and 2 heals, just in hopes that my AFK mode will choose DPS skills over heals. And also, I think, Blessed Light is a fantastic skill in so many contexts. Very, very important heal. But it's also really, really slow. And so for a single PvE situation, I think by the time I would have to BL, I would have been better off just trying to beat the boss. So that's kind of my feel on it. Maybe if you don't bring a heal rune, then maybe BL is the way to go. But I get in another heal by bringing a heal rune. So it's pretty manageable. I'm looking at that heal rune, and it looks like it's an advanced rune. So I'm kind of I was a little stuck on when exactly I recorded this, and it was kind of skipping my mind. But it does look like I have class advancement and titles. I feel like I have a lot more BR with Hercules right now. I don't know where it came from, but right now you can see up in the top left I'm at almost 265k BR. No pots or warrior's call or anything like that. 265k BR and a Maya rune really should be able to do this just fine. The main thing that I was worried about was actually boss 28. I think boss 28, particularly for mages, is probably actually harder than the final boss. Just really, really fast. So here we have a knight. These ones I think do mixed damage. So when you think about PvE stuff, MDef is always a little bit more important in PvE than it is in PvP. At least that was the traditional case. Maybe I'm lying on that one now, just because with sylphs, and everybody has both damages, both types of damage that they deal. Having good balanced defense is better. I say that, and you would think that archers would actually have the biggest defensive advantage, since they have the most balanced defense of the 3 classes. But I actually feel like unless archers really go out of their way to build up their defense, which most of them don't, they actually are the toughest classes as far as having them tank things. Let's see here. I think I was just thinking about whether or not I needed some sort of like a Puri or something here. So you see all of the world bosses in here: Bloodfang and Radoga. These are big bosses, but actually feel like they don't lag as much as the God's Descent or Skytrail ones for whatever reason. Let's see here. I think you'll see one thing here. I'm sure this is something I would do is that I'll sylph towards the beginning and then try and build up my awakening by the end, because it helps to be able to sylph early. Helps you manage your awakening points. Things you need to just learn from experience are how many times you can go into sylph mode for each boss. So I think you'll see for level 28 that I tried to get out not too fast, but quickly enough so that I will be able to get a full second turn. Whereas for something like the final boss, I'll actually sylph awaken 3 times, but the first 2 times I'll only do 4 or 5 turns. So that's mostly something you need to figure out from experience. You can probably look through these and figure it out, but it also depends on how much you can DPS with your pet. Most people know, at least from my videos, that that my highest BR pet is Aegis, but I think Hercules just rules in Necropolis and Skytrail and such. There are some Skytrail bosses where Hercules is actually, Aegis is actually better, but overall, Aegis is still, Hercules is still the #1 DPS pet. I think Amazon Queen is a decent alternative, especially for mages that pick Amazon Queen and into Cerberus. I think at least at this point in the game, when you only really need 1 or 2 main sylphs, well, really just one, Amazon Queen is a great option. It's definitely cheaper, and it's very good at both single target DPS, and it's also not like, even though it's a great single target pet, it's not the worst pet for group arena. I do not like Hercules in group arena. Most of the time you'll see people bring it mostly just because it's their best pet and the alternative lowers their BR so much. But just skill wise, I don't think it's set up to be a great group fighting sylph. So almost finish up here, have nice full awaken. 26 here, and I was, see, this one's always so iffy. He actually got to rage up. 26 and 28 were actually the 2 bosses that took me the longest to figure out how to beat. 30 is definitely very, very difficult, but for whatever reason I figured out a method to beat it much more quickly, whereas I got stuck at 26 for a long time, just because it has this one ultimate attack that is just so nasty. It bites you like trying to think of like the little munching motions, and I think it's at least like 3 or 4 times, and so it does so much damage each time, and it's very hard to manage for a mage who doesn't have a lot of ways to reduce the damage that we take. And then yeah, 28 is just a pain. It rages up so quickly. 28's better for something like an archer, which archers have an advantage in this regardless. Archers did lose their advantage in a lot of PvE things because of the slow immunes, but they should still beat this first. I think within maybe like 200 kbr or so, depending on your build a little bit. archers can actually manage to beat all 30. It's probably a pain in the butt, but you can definitely do it. I'm trying to think of what BR I was at when I started doing this regularly, and my guess is somewhere around 230 KBR, maybe a little bit less, a little bit more. I would say after another 30 KBR or so, that final boss, for whatever reason, is still hard. I still can't make any mistakes. If I mess up, it can cost me. I do try every day that I remember to beat that final boss. Try to blitz up to level 30, and it is like Catacombs where you have to beat the final boss each time. And now I can do that pretty consistently, so it gives a nice chunk of dragon essences, and the gems aren't bad for 3 crypt tokens. Oh, it lagged a little bit. I haven't seen this in Necropolis. I forgot about that happened. But yeah, so it gives great dragon essences, and it also gives pretty good gems for 3 keys for what it is. Just comparing to Catacombs, and I'm talking about beating 30 levels, and level 30 has a chance at a level 5 gem. So they're actually, like, if I had to pick between Catacombs and Necropolis now, I would probably pick Necropolis. Too bad it costs, 3 keys. Apparently there's going to be another underground something. Everybody keeps on, whenever I hear somebody talk about it, I hear them talk about calling it like a new Necropolis. So that'll be interesting. I'm sure it's very, very challenging. So when that comes out, I'll definitely try and make a video. My tune is not set up great for PvE situations. I try to keep it relatively balanced, so not terrible for PvE stuff, but because I do so many videos and things, I try to make it decent enough for PvP where I'm gonna do well. If you're just interested in long-term rewards and long-term gain, it's probably better at this point to just set yourself up lots of HP, lots of crit, lots of attack, and maybe even a decent amount of block, and that'll treat you really well in things like Sky Trail, God's Ascent, Necropolis, well, even the MPDs. You'll be useful to Aspire team, things like that. Here we go. So you saw with the first Sylph attack, I think I used 4 or 5 skills, and then I got out so that I could have a full Sylph turn at the end. Here I recall being a bit worried because I knew that I just wanted to beat this boss and not have to worry about it too much. But that means that I'm going into the next boss without any Sylph awakening. And you see it already raged up here, so I've actually already had 2 close calls at this point. One with 26, the little puppy, and the little rabid puppy, and 28, that kind of dark angel guy. So here we have the mummy, and again, looking at my skills, you can see me checking that once in a while just because I'm always wondering if I need to puree. This one is actually just a million times easier than 28. I was stuck at 28 for quite a while, and when I got to this, I was quite pleased. So yeah, actually with just a good enough double hitting technique, you can actually manage this without starting it at Sylph mode. I just realized that these bosses actually on the top right have a level. It's a level 78 guy. So now I'm wondering if the final boss is level 80. I'm probably going to get out after this ult, yeah. Because again, this guy has quite a bit of HP, so I know I can get another self-awakening in. I would say most of these bosses you can manage 2 solid self-awakenings. Don't go crazy. You do need to get out early. Do not just like let yourself kick you out. You do need to manage your skills and manage your timing and how many awakening points you have. But you can still get a solid 4 or 5 skills in, and then get out. You don't want to use a lot of basic skills here. With Hercules, I don't have really any skills that I would consider basic that are low damage. But you don't want to overuse those ones. If you get a couple double hits in with one, great. But don't go crazy with little attacks on yourself. You're probably better off either managing your HP and healing and using your class skills, or just DPSing with your class skills and trying to get slows with your thunder and such. Class Advanced Knights now have a great passive that allows them to slow, which I'm sure the vast majority of Knights are pretty happy about, at least for Necropolis. So here, just making it in, and you can see how much the slows and double hitting help, because I got in that last attack before he could get me. I probably have Illusion on, but Illusion is one of those astrals where it helps you out whenever you absolutely do not need it, and on very, very rare occasions does it actually help you when somebody's trying to Delphic you or something. But it's fun when it does. I don't think I showed my astrals anywhere in this video, which is a pity. But one thing to note is I don't, for these situations, use the Guardian Angel Astral, which reduces the crits taken, because it'll also reduce my chance of crit healing myself, and I do not like that. I do like my crit heals, especially in PvE situations. So what I'm doing here is I'm just filling up my awakening points, because I ended in Sylph mode in the last boss. This is what I do each day, actually. So I'll blitz up to this level, I'll go in, I'll fill up my self-awakening and my rage, and then go into things all ready to go. So here I'll lead with the Thunder, and then go into Sylph mode and use the Mire. Now that the runes are available in Sylph mode, if my Thunder had procced at the beginning, I might let it go for a turn and not use the Mire rune until I got into Sylph mode. But in that case, that didn't work, and so I just used the Mire. So here I do this pretty systematically, as I use 4 skills the first time and I get out, and this will allow me to get back into Sylph mode pretty quickly. This is a trick I picked up from Sushi. The first time that I figured out how to beat level 30, I didn't do it this way, and I was managing. It was a lot harder than it is now. But doing it this way is a lot more foolproof, which he's very good at figuring out ways to do this efficiently. So the moment that my awakening comes back up, I'll go into that and Mire again. And so the first time I go in, I have full awakening points, and so I Thunder, I go into Sylph mode, use 4 skills, including the Delphic. You definitely want to lead with Shock Chain and get a Delphic somewhere in there. That's a key part. And here again, second time in Sylph Awakening, I'm just going to use 4 skills and get out. So you'll see me getting ready to cancel. And as I'm canceling, I'm already pressing AFK, so that the first skill when I get out is an AFK chosen skill. And so everything I do after that is a queued skill, and you'll see my skills blinking so I can make sure I'm getting all those double and triple hits in. And then last time I go into Sylph mode is just DPS as fast as you can. It doesn't matter, you know, 4 skills or however many. There's no time limitation on that. But I think in most cases, you do need to hustle a little bit. So I'm not sure I even get a chance to use more than 3 or 4 skills before this boss rages up to the 1k%. So you'll see that ultimate attack, and you know the next move is when he'll rage up. So I get a double hit in there, and then you see the 1k% up top, but he's dead. So that's fantastic. That's level 30 of Necropolis. So I'll grab my treasure chest and get out. And there, actually, you see I got a level 5 Charisma gem, so there is a chance for those. So really nice rewards from this event, and thanks for watching, you guys.